The job training that's provided here, the connection to the industry, particularly if you are a new entrant going into the industry, there's no better training than the Culinary Academy. For incumbent workers to be able to come here and upgrade their skills, to be kind of up to date and competitive in where the properties are going, and this is the place that they can get that training. And I'm excited to see the expansion because it means more people getting that training, doubling the capacity, meeting the needs of the employers, but also providing a lot of opportunity for people here in our community.
They are trying to steal money from everyday Americans. They're trying to cut the budget in Social Security, Medicaid, and SNAP to give $4 trillion to his billionaire friends and corporations. Look at who was at the inauguration. It was the top 1%.
This is before congressional Republicans vote to take $880 billion out of Medicaid, which helps pay for 1 in 5 Americans to get primary care or at-home care. And before Republicans explode the deficit to give tax cuts to people who don't need tax cuts. I understand why Donald Trump is pushing this agenda. He owes Elon Musk and all these other tech billionaires for their support of his candidacy. I, for the life of me, can't understand how congressional Republicans are going to explain their votes on axing Medicaid to their constituents back home.
This is a Republican ripoff. This is what that is. This is stealing money from the American taxpayers to give to their billionaire friends like Elon Musk. And Medicaid, we have to remember, isn't just about numbers. These are people.
About 72 million people across the country rely on Medicaid.
Everybody calm down. Plays are going down in a lot of places, but actually if you start looking at a map, it's not in America. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's not because of DOGE and the FAA. That's just, look, if you can make a causal connection between that employee being fired and a plane going down, be my guest, but you can't.
Okay. I can. I'm right here at DCA, right here, 20 minutes away from me, right? There was no head of FAA because Elon Musk fired the FAA chief.
Well, I think that is very, very unnerving. I believe that everybody knows what an outstanding soldier General Brown is and has been for many, many years. He has a 40-year career in the military. Nobody has found any fault with him because of his skin color. He has been declared DEI or woke.
Is that why you think the president has let him go, because he's black?
No access at 2 popular trails in the Cascades, all because of U.S. Forest Service staffing cuts, says Congresswoman Kim Schreier.
They're basically taking a hatchet to the Forest Service. What we know so far is that at least 260 have been fired in Oregon and Washington, and that this is the first of potentially 3 rounds of firings.
She says the Danny Creek and Franklin Falls trails are just the first.
New York is where the women's movement was born. New York is where abortion was legalized years before Roe v. Wade. New York is where Lady Liberty stands tall as a beacon of hope for those seeking freedom.
And Dr. King said that we've got to press on. And he said, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But at all times, press on and keep pressing. And that's exactly what they did. So I just want to say at this moment in time that notwithstanding what may seem to some to be an insurmountable situation, it's not. It wasn't for Rosa Parks, it wasn't for Dr. King, it wasn't for Fannie Lou Hamer, it wasn't for John Lewis.
He's the reason I got elected to the United States Senate. Kash Patel was put in place by President Trump. He has more diversity, not because he's trying to check boxes, but because he knows that the most hardworking people who can do the job are the people who are going to get it. He sees no difference between one group or another. He just wants excellence around him.
I am thrilled to be here in Utah. I have noticed as I've walked around talking to people that with all of the quick changes that are happening in Washington, D.C., a lot of people are feeling nervous, they're feeling insecure, they're not sure what to believe or how things are going to go. And so I just want to use today's video to remind everybody that everything's going to be okay. We are doing what we promised we would do during the campaign. We're $36 trillion in debt as a nation. We have to make some changes. The Senate did their vote-a-rama last night on reconciliation. The House is working on our reconciliation process.
I'm here in the beautiful San Luis Valley in Alamosa. Campaigned many times here when I was running for office, but this is my first official visit as congressman. It's great to be here meeting with community leaders, talking about three really important topics: education, healthcare, and water.
I wanted to come up to the UP early in my tenure as a senator in my first 6 or 7 weeks, particularly to hear from people about how what's going on in Washington is playing out even in far-flung places like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we're here visiting the big VA hospital. I'm on the Veterans Affairs Committee. We're talking with local elected leaders. We talk with the business community, with our unions, and we're going to a big ski jump competition, one of the big events up here, just to get a sense for people of how what's happening in Washington is playing out, with people getting pink slips from the federal government, with potential cuts to federal funding. We want to know how it affects people very far away from Washington, so that's why we're here.